This devastating revelation broke the hearts of many. People have looked up to Roker and Deborah Roberts for a long time because they were among the longest-running pairings on television. Every morning, Al has brought comedy, warmth, and perseverance into American homes as the beloved host of the Today Show. This is Deborah, the acclaimed journalist whose work for ABC News has garnered her fans all over the globe. They seemed like the epitome of stability as a couple, managing prominent jobs, a committed marriage, and a loving home. However, behind closed doors, even the most powerful unions encounter obstacles, as shown by insiders. The pair's careers moved at such a breakneck rate that they eventually became estranged, according to sources close to the couple. Deborah was frequently away from home or engrossed in difficult tasks due to her steadfast commitment to investigative reporting. On the other hand, Al's schedule was never dependable due to his many side projects and obligations to Today. Over time, what seemed like a healthy dose of independence became more like a subtle estrangement. They were both starting to feel the effects of their friends' hushed conversations about shortened late-night calls, delayed trips, and missed milestones. Despite the deep affection they had for one another, their routines began to diverge. Also, what was previously easy to disregard grew increasingly so as the years passed. Deborah, who is renowned for her composure and expertise, remained mum throughout the months of rumors. But her remarks were full of love and finality when she did speak. She acknowledged that a deepening incompatibility had taken hold, but she portrayed their marriage as a path full of lovely memories, laughing, and mutual respect. "We made an effort to connect," Deborah admitted. "Love, though, sometimes entails letting go instead of clutching on too firmly." It was an unusual look into the inner life of a woman who the general public has always viewed as calm and unflappable. There was no accusation in her remarks. Truth and closure were at the heart of it. Our sources tell us that this choice was deliberate. Deborah and Al toiled away at trying to put their problems behind them for almost 2 years. With the hope of rekindling the passion that had drawn them together in the first place, they attempted rearranging their work schedules, sought counseling, and even took long breaks together. The love, according to their friends, was always there. It was just that the pressures of two extraordinary careers were too much for them to bear. In response to Deborah's inspiring words, Al felt compelled to share his own sincere message. "She was the best mother and partner I could have asked for," he said in it. Even though he was sad to be leaving, he referred to their time together as the finest chapter of his life. Al is devastated, according to those close to him, but he is adamant about protecting their children from the negative attention of the public. There was no dramatic betrayal or explosive altercation. Exclusively two individuals whose paths in life had diverged. Fans are left to ponder whether more could have been done to salvage their marriage, or if this subdued finale was always inescapable. Deborah has always prioritized the safety of their children. Rumor has it that she has gone to great lengths to shield them from the public eye and ensure their stability. Al has also expressed this view, saying that their children will be their first priority in life. Family will always be their first priority, and the two have committed to compassionate co-parenting. Now that their split is public knowledge, Deborah is starting a new chapter in her life. She is showing no signs of retreating and is instead devoting herself fully to her profession. She has taken on significant initiatives recently, further solidifying her image as a reliable voice in media. The resilient Al keeps on trucking, bringing his infectious optimism to every aspect of his life. Despite the sadness that permeates their story, grace triumphs in the end. Deborah demonstrates a high level of maturity through her fearless and considerate speech, which is much appreciated by Al. Although their marriage has ended, their unwavering dedication to their families guarantees that genuine love endures. That, maybe, is the takeaway. That there can be honor, respect, and lasting caring even in saying farewell. Make sure you subscribe and enable notifications if you were moved by this story. We will bring you more in-depth explorations of the most impactful tales that lie beneath the surface of news in the future. Plus, we'd love to have your feedback right now. Were you of the opinion that Al and Deborah's split was inevitable, or that they might have reconciled? Leave a comment with your ideas. Your opinion counts. The legendary TV host and journalist Deborah Roberts has a reputation for being cool under fire and a master of professionalism. Both her peers and audiences hold her in high esteem for the remarkable career she has achieved in broadcast journalism. Deborah, like many others, has had to deal with intensely sensitive issues outside of her public character. Some of these have persisted for a long time, Fans were stunned and moved to tears when Deborah finally spoke up about the unspoken reality behind her marriage's divorce, ending years of silence about the scandalous rumors between her and Al Roker. The famous Today Show weather anchor Al Roker and Deborah Roberts were considered a power couple on television for a long time. They raised a family while juggling the demands of fame, a public profile, and the scrutiny of admirers and the press. Both partners' achievements and the stability of their relationship contributed to the couple's widespread adulation. They were the epitome of a happy, stable couple, juggling the responsibilities of their jobs with the idealized image of a family life that they presented. Deborah, though, hinted to difficulties that few could perceive behind her public persona and cheerful demeanor. Her open confession revealed that she and Al had been drifting away for years, with a combination of misunderstandings and silent struggles, and that their marriage had finally come to an end. Deborah emphasized that numerous reports had distorted the reality while the media speculated about their breakup. The complexity of relationships in the spotlight were brought to light by her voice, which was finally speaking up. Keeping a marriage together while being under continual observation is a constant struggle, Deborah said. They grew apart as a result of their busy schedules, frequent travel, and need to appear in public for their respective jobs. The public's, fans, and even co-workers and realistic expectations that their life together was picture perfect only added insult to injury. Deborah stressed that there are many more complexities and subtleties to marriage than what is apparent to those on the outside, particularly in light of the spotlight. Despite the divorce, Deborah emphasized the importance of respect and care, which was one of the most remarkable parts of her revelation. She went on to say that even though her marriage had ended, she still held Al in the highest regard as a father and an expert in his field. She went on to say that despite their differences, they remained committed to lovingly co-parent their children and putting their family first. Fans loved Deborah's poise and maturity as she handled her divorce with grace and dignity, especially in the spotlight. The decision to speak publicly for the first time, Deborah said, was a source of empowerment. She had put up with speculation and speculations for a long time without saying anything, frequently wanting to shield her family's privacy. However, as time went by, she came to understand that her quiet had unintentionally contributed to the spread of disinformation. Deborah wanted to clear the air and offer those going through the same thing a platform to speak up, so she told it like it was. The candor with which she discussed her marriage, divorce, and dealing with emotional trauma in a professional setting was refreshing. Upon hearing Deborah's confession, fans' reactions were genuine and swift. A lot of people felt bad for her and complimented her for being so mature and honest. Many responded on social media, praising her dedication to her family in the face of personal tragedy and recognizing the challenge of juggling one's public and private lives. The overwhelming response demonstrated the empathy and understanding that Deborah possesses as a journalist and as a person going through tough times. The decision by Deborah to speak out also generated discussions around the demands of being in a public relationship. The public eye, demanding careers, and relentless pressure to seem flawless can put a strain on even the most committed relationships, according to experts and fans alike. Discussions about mental health, emotional resilience, and the value of putting one's own well-being first in relationships expanded after Deborah's tale went viral. Although Deborah's divorce was a difficult time, her message was ultimately one of strength and optimism. She spoke openly about reflecting on her life, drawing strength from her weaknesses, and persevering with grace when faced with adversity. While going through a divorce is never easy, her candor and openness about her experience showed that it is possible to do so with dignity, compassion, and understanding. Ultimately, the difficulties of being in the spotlight, the intricacy of committed relationships, and the significance of honesty and openness are all highlighted by Deborah Roberts' touching admission of her divorce from Al Roker. The news may shatter the hearts of many admirers, but Deborah's bravery in speaking out has encouraged many to be strong and honest when they are going through tough times. A lesson that beyond the realm of celebrity and television, her narrative teaches us that even in the midst of tragedy, we can remain strong, dignified, and open to change. Viewers and admirers will be inspired for years to come by Deborah's story of self-empowerment, which is more than just a news story. It is a narrative of human fortitude and resilience.